To see you guys. Looking forward to getting on the football field to this Central Michigan game. Can't wait to get them on the football field for Central Michigan. We'll have a great challenge in front of us with a very potent run game offense. A veteran offensive crew with the addition of Rawls running the ball for Central Michigan is proven to be extremely potent. And Coach Enos has done a really nice job on both sides of the ball, having his kids prepared to win, and they've done a great job, as was the case this past weekend when they, annihilated Purdue. So great challenge for our kids, and really can't wait to get them back on the field. And with that, any questions you might have?
Zach?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, Zach.
I can go second.
Go ahead.
Mark, go ahead.
Okay, all right. Coach, you've been really good on bye weeks. I don't know if that's the national numbers, but why do you think you've been so effective?
I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't know if we've been good on after bye weeks or not. Hopefully the little bit of time of preparation and that sort of thing could be beneficial. We got to be good on after a bye week this week. That's the key. The next one, this is the next one. We got to be ready to go. So I don't know. I didn't answer it, but.
What kind of unique challenges do you face going on the road for a noon start?
Well, I don't think it's that big a deal as long as we have our minds right. I've been talking to the kids about playing the game and playing the preparation of the game over and over in their head, getting off the bus. We're going to dress. We're going to be, in our pants and pads when we get off the bus, like you would for a high school game, to be honest with you. And we're going to get ready to go right away. Kind of tight quarters out there in Kelly Short Stadium. So, I think more than anything, I think the preparation, so you've anticipated what can happen or what the timeline will be, is the key. So, we'll get them to bed a little bit earlier than we usually do. The whole thing is just being focused on our targeted objectives for this game and, going out and playing a good football game Saturday, whether it's noon or 3 o'clock, you just prepare and you go after it the same way.
I think everyone in the country knows what today is on 9/11.
Yeah.
I think you were in DeKalb at that time.
Yeah, DeKalb, Illinois, sure was.
Do you mind sharing what that day was like for you?
Yeah, it was. Well, it was horrible. First and foremost, it was horrible. And let us never forget, what happened. It was horrible. I had two kids. My two children were younger then, and for me, what it was this: we were sitting there. I was watching tape, and with the facilities we didn't have there, we were still using videotape and all this. So every time you click the tape out, the screen would come on, and we had a television channel like CNN or something like that in the backdrop of that, and boom, there it was. I was like, hey, what the heck's going on here? And then 45 minutes later, the tower dropped, or the second one hit, and all that. And Coach Novak came in and he said, call your families, make sure everybody's okay. And I took off. I went home and saw Missy, and she went and grabbed Wolf, and Elsa was younger, and it was just horrific, and it was surreal, and all the things that we've all gone through. Now being here in New York and knowing so many people from this part of the country. My brother-in-law was working downtown at the time, and he was one of the folks that had to take a long walk, and it was just crazy, flat out crazy. And ever since then, we've looked at life in these states so differently, each and every one of us. And we can never forget, and we got to make sure when we make the decision to vote that we not to get on the trail here, but we vote for the guy that's going to protect our country. That's the guy or gal. I mean, just profound. I mean, we look at life differently now. And how old were you? You were young, right? 7th grade. And as parents and as you get older, you look at it and it's just crazy how before 9/11 and after 9/11, everything's changed, as we well know. So let's be on the defense and get the right people in office to protect us, and let's make sure every opportunity we get, we give a hug to a troop member or say a small prayer for somebody in our military.
Scott, you've been on the other side of this, having coached in the MAC and some of the coaches on your staff.
What's that like when you're on the other side of it, and a team like Syracuse is
It's it's great. You always look at your schedule and the matchups that you have, and we took a lot of pride in those games. And I was fortunate to be on the positive end of a lot of those games, and real close to winning a bunch of others, and got our butts kicked in some other ones. Looking at it from the Mid-American point of view, but. It's what college football is all about. They'll be ready. They've been there. They've done that. Just a week ago, they'll be a very confident outfit. You have a chip on your shoulder when you're in those situations because your kids and your coaches say, I could be there. Why didn't they recruit me? Or why didn't they hire me? And that chip on the shoulder is not a bad thing, and I think that's why you've seen the MAC do so well over the years. My last year at Northern, we were very fortunate to win some big games. Beat a real good Maryland team. We went to Tuscaloosa and beat Alabama. We beat Iowa State that season. And, we'll have our hands full with this outfit. They're a damn good football team.
Mark? Coach, I just wonder what you expected out of Terrell this week. Obviously, he played a half last time, and I know he's very motivated to kind of make it up to the team. What do you expect out of him?
I don't want him to make it up to the team. I want him just to be our starting quarterback and manage the game the way he's been taught. And don't put more into it. I think you get in trouble when you try to do more. I think you need to go out and play within the framework of what your coaches want you to, achieve throughout the course of the game, one play at a time. The thing we didn't do a good job of last week is we did not have great focus on the 5 or 6 seconds of each and every play, and that was a major mistake that we made. Starting with me as a coach, and each individual in the team. We need to focus in on one play at a time. All the coach talk that you guys hate me bringing up is the truth. We have to win the 6-inch wars. We have to spill the football. We have to get our helmet underneath their pads. Low man wins, make the ball go sideways. So Terrell needs to do the same thing at quarterback. That I'm talking about all the kids. We need to control the things that are most important, and that's winning the 5 to 6 second war, one play at a time. And that's something we didn't do a good job of, in our season opener, and we'll do a better job Saturday.
Chris.
Scott, Sam Rogers is a kid whose religious faith is tied very closely with his character. I think, and it's very important to him. I know some coaches have team prayers, and some are very hands-off with how they handle religion. How do you guys do it here?
Those will be kept between me and my teammates and my coaches.
Zach.
What did you learn about your team during the bye week?
I don't know if I really learned anything new. I thought we had a good week of practice, but that doesn't matter right now. It's what you do on game day. So after the game, we'll take a look at where we are, where we aren't, and I just look forward to, we had a game, it didn't go as well as we wanted to. You had the result. We came away with an ugly victory. Okay, that's a great thing. A victory is a victory. The key is the response in between. You have the game, you have the outcome, but what's the response before, during, and after? And I'm looking forward to seeing how the response that our kids and coaches put on the practice field influences the way we play on Saturday, and then you continue that process. But looking forward to it. I've liked the way we've worked, but the one thing you always know going into a football game is that you have no idea what you know. You have no clue. In warm-ups, hey, we're ready to go. And then we go out and get our butts kicked. I've been in other warm-ups where it looked like we couldn't get a snap, and we go out and play the best game of our lives. The one thing is you know is you never know, and the key is how are we going to adjust and how are we going to respond to the way we start that game and the way we finish that game one play at a time. And that's the focus we'll have, that we've had during the course of the bye week, and the focus we need to have throughout the course of this game against Central Michigan.
Jesse.
I know Steve Ishmael, leaves somebody in the depth chart this week. I know you don't take a lot of stock in that, but
yeah.
You guys expecting him to have a little more of a role as a result?
Well, I want all our starters to have a good role within the framework of the game plan. Steve's done a nice job. Competition will be on throughout the course of the game. The depth chart could change after the first quarter. That's football. The best guys that are ready to play, that are being productive and consistent, will play. And going into this game, Steve's right there. I've been proud of the way he's worked. Real pleased with him.
Steven?
I think on Tuesday you mentioned that Nick and Amari were coming back to practice, and if all went well, they'd be good for the game.
They're both, yep, they both have the green light to play, and I'm looking forward to having those two in the rotation at guard.
So is it going to be a rotation with Rob?
In the rotation at guard, and we'll see how the thing goes. I defer to my comments there with depth chart and that sort of thing.
Jacob?
Hey, Scott. Specifically, how have you seen Julian Wiggin benefit from the extra time off?
Well, just an opportunity to get more reps at the little things, the technique. He's become a better player with his bump and run technique. I think he can be a very good bump and run corner. So we, not just with Julian, but with all the players, we really took a look at the fundamental approach of our footwork, our eyes, our technique, that 6-inch war that we talk about. Can we win with technique? I always like to talk to Julian in the corners this way. At the beginning of the game, maybe you're in the 4.4s in your 40-yard dash. At the end of the game, you're not going to run a 4.4 anymore, and neither is that guy across from you. The guy that's going to win is the guy that has a mental toughness that will give him an opportunity to win with technique. So, we've tried to take that approach with all those players, but especially those corners and bump and run, to say, will our technique be better than their technique in the fourth quarter? And he's owned that. There was a time where he was up and down and all around with his work ethic when he first got here, like so many of them. But now he takes that approach, and I look at him, and we do this thing, and he's like, I'm good, I'm going, let's go. I'm like, am I going to get the same Julian Wiggum I got yesterday? And that started during summer camp, and I think he's worked to a level where his consistency's at a pretty good place right now. But we'll see Saturday.
Coach, after reviewing the game, what do you feel best about going into Central Michigan? What are you feeling best about after viewing the game and seeing how your players perform?
Well, right now, I'm so beyond the last game, to be honest with you, Tad. And, for me, it's just what we're doing today. We have to have a good Thursday's practice. We have goals and objectives for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday practices. Thursday is to polish, to complete the game plan, to be on and off the field quickly, to not have to repeat a bunch of plays. I tell my coaches on Thursday, stay away from the kids. Get back. See what they really know. Don't be in their ear during practice. Let them show you what they know and what they don't know. And if they don't feel good about it, it'll show up on the practice film, and we'll throw that play away or that defense away. So looking forward to having a better Thursday than we had a Wednesday going into the Friday game last. So improvement.
Time for a couple more. We'll go to Nate.
I think you guys are staying a little bit off-site this week at Central Michigan.
Yeah.
Is that a significant deal?
No, we've had to do that at different places, throughout all my years. I think it's just the approach. Hey, men, here's the approach. Here's how this battle plan's going to go down right here. We're going to be an hour away. We're going to get on the bus. I want you guys to close your eyes, listen to your favorite music, but when we get 20 minutes out, it's on. Bam, we're up. We get our eyes ready to go. Do what you did in high school in this situation. I used to love the away games in high school, man. You get on that bus, take a little nap because you're nervous. I used to call it a nervous nap. And then, for me, I was listening to some Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix and whatnot, trying to get my mind right. And then you get there and you can see you're in the town, and then all of a sudden you see the lights and the camera and the action, So for me, it's just painting that picture for the kids. What's this going to feel like this week? Whereas you have another game, you're right there in town. Hey, we're getting on the bus. We'll be in the stadium in 2 minutes, and let's roll, But I think it's important that you try to teach them to visualize and see what's about to go down. And that goes with everything, I used to love high school, man. You'd hear the cleats, You guys, how many of you guys played high school ball? Remember the cleats cutting through the hallway? Going out to, man, those are the days.
Mark?
Coach, going back to Axel's question about kind of being on the other side of it, and now you're on the favorite side, and some would say your team has almost nothing to gain, while Central Michigan has nothing to lose.
You're overthinking it, Mark. We got to go play football. 100-yard field, white stripes. You're overthinking it. Don't overthink it. Go play football. They're good. They put on the shoes. They put on the cleats. It's football. At any time, we could get our butts kicked or we could kick their butts at any time. And let's focus on 5 seconds, 6-inch war, out-toughen them. Simple as that. When you start to overthink it and you start to think you're better than them, you should run it down their throat, you're dead wrong. When you start thinking the other way, same deal. Football, he's on scholarship, I'm on scholarship. Let's see who can win. Oh, he got me that play. I got to get him the next play. At the end of the day, how many battles did we win? How many battles did we lose? And what's the scoreboard say? And let's not focus on anything more than that.
Chris?
It seemed like you guys actually put him in some tough second and third and long situations in the opener, and then couldn't kind of finish.
Yeah, I didn't do a good job on second down and third down. We actually won our percentages on first down defensively. We were good. But second down, third down, kid did a good job with his feet, but I don't want to talk about Villanova anymore.
Last question, Sal.
Can
Yes.
you just elaborate on their running back, kid from Michigan?
Yeah, Rawls, good football player, tough. When he gets in a one-on-one situation, he's going to try to run you over. And he's done a nice job with it. He really has. Fun to watch unless you have to prepare to play him. So it'll be a great challenge for our kids. They're two-back. They like to get in two-back and run isolation weak and power plays to the strong side. They like to, we call it closed window power, where they take that tight end and they try to ear hole that Mike linebacker, and then that guard and fullback come around to take on a defensive end, and the next linebacker and safety coming in. And they do a great job with it. The whole goal behind those plays is to go north and south as an offensive, and that's what Rawls has done a great job at. So we need to do some similar things in comparative ways to the Boston College game last year, and make the ball go sideways. Turn the shoulders to the sideline. When I'm on the sideline, if they run power towards us and I can see his numbers running at me, we did a good job. If I never see his numbers running at me, it's north and south, and we need to improve on the next play. He does a great job getting downhill. He's averaging 138 yards a game, I think. And the quarterbacks manage things extremely well, and they have all their offensive guys back from last year. So they are a veteran football team, and they're playing like it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody, for coming. If you're going to Central Michigan, travel safely.